I'll go with you when worms have ears.
Hey, Lisa, who are you going to the prom with?
Oh, it's too early to tell. I've given definite maybes to 6 guys.
So, what is your official diagnosis?
Schizoaffective thought disorder.
What has Lark Voorhies, the star of Saved by the Bell, been hiding all these years? Why did she step away from the spotlight? Fans have wondered about her struggles, and now she's finally speaking out. What truth has she confirmed that many feared was true?
After the show ended, you sort of disappeared from the spotlight. Most of us didn't know where you had gone, what you were doing.
Could it explain her absence from Hollywood and her public battles? Let's uncover the shocking story behind Lark Voorhies' life and career.
Very family-like, which I'm sure you can relate.
Yes.
Each stage performance becomes your audience and family.
Lark Voorhies was one of the most stunning faces on TV, and we literally watched her grow up on our screens. But her journey wasn't as easy as it looked. Born on March 25th, 1974, in Nashville, Tennessee, her parents, Tricia and Wayne Holloway, divorced when she was just 11 months old. After that, Lark and her mom moved to Pasadena, California, when she was only 2 years old. Even as a baby, Lark was beautiful and photogenic. But here's the twist. She wasn't the outgoing, bubbly type. Lark was very shy, which made her mom hesitant to put her in front of a camera too early.
Zach, you're getting on my nerves.
There's not a lot of information about her relationship with her mom, but it seems like her mom believed Lark had the talent for acting. Some interviews even hint that her mom might have pushed her a bit. Lark admitted in an interview with the Wayans brothers that she didn't talk much growing up. She only spoke when she had something important to say or when she was reading her lines. Dustin Diamond, who played Screech on Saved by the Bell, backed up this story in his book. He said that Lark was very quiet on set and mostly kept to herself. People thought she was a bit different because she wasn't as social as everyone else. But maybe that's what made her unique. Despite her shy nature, Lark had a spark when it came to performing. At 12 years old, she was ready to step into the spotlight. Her mom told People magazine that Lark transformed when she was on stage. It was like a whole new side of her came alive. This confidence helped Lark land roles in commercials for big brands like Mattel Toys and Barbie. She even had a small role in the movie Troop Beverly Hills with Shelley Long. Not long after, TV producers noticed her talent. She appeared on shows like Kids Incorporated and Good Morning, Miss Bliss.
Hey, Lisa, who are you going to the prom with?
Oh, it's too early to tell. I've given definite maybes to 6 guys.
Eventually, Good Morning, Miss Bliss was reworked into Saved by the Bell, and Lark became Lisa Turtle, the fashionable and smart girl everyone loved. The role made her a household name. But underneath the fame, Lark still carried her natural shyness. Watching her interviews from back in the day, you can see she was charismatic but also timid. Lark's career took off. By 1993, when the show ended, Lark had already appeared in other TV shows like In Living Color, Days of Our Lives, and The Bold and the Beautiful. Here's a fun fact about Lark Voorhies on The Bold and the Beautiful. She played Jasmine Malone, a fashion designer intern, starting in September 1995. However, her time on the show ended in November 1996. Why? Lark is a Jehovah's Witness, and her religion doesn't allow her to do certain scenes. When the show's storyline called for sensual scenes, she refused, and they let her go. That decision showed her strong beliefs and values. Saved by the Bell made Lark a household name. She became so popular that she was featured in magazines like Teen Beat and 17. Fans loved hearing about her life as a teenage actress in Hollywood. Imagine trying to balance school and fame at the same time. Despite the spotlight, Lark stayed humble, even though she was one of the most recognized faces from the show. After Saved by the Bell, Lark had some acting roles, but her career didn't take off the way many people expected. Her mom told People magazine that the pressure from the show made Lark's career slow down.
I'll go with you when worms have ears.
Now let's talk about her personal life. Lark has had her share of ups and downs in love. Fans were thrilled when Lark started dating her co-star, Mark Paul Gosselaar, who played Zach Morris. The two were a picture-perfect couple, often seen together at events like award shows, red carpets, and movie premieres. They walked arm in arm, shared sweet kisses for the cameras, and spoke highly of each other in interviews.
I mean, it all happened in the span of the show. None of us dated after the show was canceled.
Fans of the show hoped their love would last forever, but sadly, the couple split in 1993 after 3 years together. Despite the breakup, Lark has only kind words for Mark Paul. She once said their relationship was very special and went beyond what people call puppy love. Though they didn't end up together, they stayed close friends and reunited several times for Saved by the Bell events. Later in 1993, Lark started dating comedian and actor Martin Lawrence. At first, their romance seemed like a fairy tale. People thought they might even get married. But everything changed when Martin appeared on the Arsenio Hall show and shocked everyone by announcing he was engaged to someone else. Lark was heartbroken, and the news deeply affected her. After their breakup, Dustin met with Lark to record audio for a Saved by the Bell DVD. Dustin noticed that something seemed off. He said Lark had become even more quiet and withdrawn than usual. He noticed that Lark seemed scared, flinching whenever a man came near or when a man's voice was loud. She would also rock back and forth and mumble to herself, as if she was lost in her own world. Many believed something bad had happened to her during her relationship with Martin. This may sound hard to believe, but in 2016, Lark posted on Instagram, hinting that Dustin's book was right about what had happened. She shared an excerpt from the book, showing support for the claims against Martin. But hours later, the post was deleted, and a photo of Lark with the caption, "An Angel," was put up. It was said that her Instagram had been hacked. Another Instagram post stirred up conversations about actor Martin. It said, "Martin Lawrence is no saint either. Is a These men need to be held accountable for their well-documented actions, preying on innocent women. The truth is in the pudding." These words grabbed attention, and many fans started sharing their thoughts.
But Martin, unfortunately, show business at a certain point in his life got the best of him. And when that happens, you see it happening, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Some people even mentioned how actress Tisha Campbell had spoken out in the past about how Martin treated her while they worked together on the hit show Martin. While it's hard to know the full truth of what happened between them, it's clear that whatever it was caused pain. Emotional wounds like that don't heal quickly, and the hurt can last long after a relationship ends. Later on, things seemed to be looking better for Lark in 1996 when she married Miguel Coleman, but their relationship ended in 2001. Lark said the divorce made her very depressed. Later, she met a man named Jimmy Green at a networking event in 2014, and they started dating soon after. The couple got married on April 30th, 2015, but the happiness didn't last. Just 5 months later, in September 2015, she filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. What went wrong? According to reports, Jimmy struggled to adjust to life in Hollywood. He wasn't comfortable with the attention his wife received from fans and photographers. Money issues also caused arguments, and there were problems with her mom, who didn't approve of him. Jimmy made headlines when he was sought by the police for an incident in Tucson, Arizona. He had tried to return a cell phone to a store, but the owner didn't want it back. Jimmy reportedly got angry and threatened to break the store. Although it was a small misdemeanor, the story got a lot of attention. Jimmy defended himself, saying it was all blown out of proportion and insisted that his marriage to Lark was still strong. But things seemed to fall apart, especially since Lark was still living with her mom at the time. After they got married, things quickly became complicated. Lark's mom made a deal with Jimmy. He could visit their home every day, but he had to leave every night to catch the last bus back to his own home. Jimmy agreed to the arrangement. However, Lark's mom later said she caught him sleeping in the house, even hiding in the closet. One day, when Lark's mom tried to get Jimmy to leave, she accused him of making gang signs at her. The situation got tense, and according to TMZ, Lark's mom got a restraining order against Jimmy. This meant he had to stay at least 100 yards away from her in the house. Jimmy later admitted he was part of a gang, but said he never meant any harm to Lark's mom. He thought she was just trying to control everything in his wife's life. Even though it seemed like Jimmy couldn't even go to his own home, things got worse. Just 6 months after their wedding, Lark filed for divorce. Her mom was simply trying to protect her daughter, especially since she seemed to be spiraling. Sadly, the marriage ended in chaos and pain. What are your thoughts on all this?
After the show ended, you sort of disappeared from the spotlight. Most of us didn't know where you had gone, what you were doing.
Recently, her name made headlines in a strange way. Lark claimed her Instagram was hacked after a post appeared saying someone's private area smells like corn chips. Yep, you heard that right. Also, Lark has faced serious struggles with her mental health.
She resented the fact that I came forward to put a label that she herself hadn't accepted. And so she was upset with me about that.
By 2002, Lark was mostly out of the public eye. When she did appear in public, people noticed she was acting very differently. In 2005, the National Enquirer claimed that Lark was using substances. TMZ later reported that Lark sued the magazine, saying their accusations ruined her career and caused her a lot of pain. She even got her doctor to confirm that she was sober. By 2006, Lark dropped the lawsuit, and her lawyer confirmed that the allegations were false, but the case was closed. Her mental health issues started during her childhood and continued into adulthood. She experienced depression as early as age 15. While filming Saved by the Bell, her mood swings and unpredictability caught people's attention. Therapy helped her understand her struggles better, but it wasn't until 2004 that doctors diagnosed her with schizoaffective disorder. Schizoaffective disorder combines symptoms of schizophrenia, like hallucinations or delusions, with mood disorders such as depression or bipolar disorder. Lark faced paranoia and delusional thoughts, which made managing daily life tough. She once said, "I'm very sensitive, and my emotions just fly out like bullets." She had to focus on things like getting enough rest and making sure to take her medications as prescribed by her doctors. These became essential parts of her daily life.
So, what is your official diagnosis?
Schizoaffective thought disorder. And that was a perfect example of what.
When Lark was younger, she faced symptoms like paranoia, depression, and hearing voices. These were difficult to deal with, but she has said that treatments like talk therapy and medication really helped her cope with these struggles. Alongside these treatments, Lark has also embraced holistic methods like yoga and meditation. She believes these practices help her stay balanced and connected to herself spiritually. Reading about spirituality has been another source of comfort for her.
Rumors began to swirl after that interview.
Right.
And a lot of folks were trying to figure out what was going on. Were you on drugs? Was there some metabolic problem? And you weren't taking drugs at the time, I'm told.
And then in May 2012, things really started to go off track for Lark. During an appearance on The Yo Show, she shocked people with her red, curly hair and unusual makeup. This made fans and reporters jump to conclusions, and rumors started spreading that Lark might be struggling with substance use. People magazine added fuel to the fire when they reported that Lark had been acting strangely during their interviews. They said that she would often stop talking in the middle of a sentence, stare off into space, and sometimes mumble to herself or people who weren't there. To make things even more dramatic, Lark's mom told people that Lark had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Lark, however, had a different story. She defended herself, saying that she wasn't sick and was simply keeping busy by working on small projects and even writing and publishing her own books. When asked about her odd behavior, Lark explained it wasn't mental illness. She said, "I have a strong spiritual sense. You caught me in moments of prayer." She admitted that she was going through a tough time, but she described it as a powerful moment in her life. She compared it to carrying on the interview in a hurricane. Despite this, she continued to show up for interviews, but often spoke in ways that were hard to understand, sometimes looking distant or even teary-eyed. In a 2012 interview with Entertainment Tonight, Lark had trouble finding the right words, but she strongly denied that she was facing any mental health problems. She said things like, "Exude exhibits within my living strata," which didn't make much sense to viewers. Even in 2013, she tried to clear up the rumors in an interview with Inside Edition. Despite the challenges that come with managing schizophrenia, Lark has stayed positive about life. She wants people to talk more openly about mental health. She believes that when we talk about it, we can help others understand it better. This way, those who are struggling can get the support they need.
And you told my producers that you're afraid to leave your home sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Lark hasn't let her mental health struggles stop her from doing amazing things. She continues to act, but has also found other passions. She writes books about self-empowerment for teens, sharing messages of hope and strength. She's also a talented artist, creating abstract paintings inspired by nature. Her artwork is available for purchase online. showing that she's still pursuing her dreams and sharing her creativity with the world.
Zach, you're getting on my nerves.
Now let's change gears and talk about her role on Saved by the Bell and the drama behind the scenes. Lark Voorhies was the rich and fashionable girl in Saved by the Bell. Her parents were both doctors, so Lisa grew up with money and style. She was always dressed in designer clothes and loved staying trendy. Lisa first appeared in Good Morning, Miss Bliss, where she had a smaller role. She went to John F. Kennedy Jr. High with Zach Morris and Screech Powers. Later in Saved by the Bell, Lisa became a bigger part of the group. Screech had a huge crush on Lisa from kindergarten through high school. He tried everything to win her heart, but Lisa mostly saw him as a friend. Even though she didn't feel the same way, she appreciated his kindness. After high school, Lisa got into the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York. She returned for a few special moments in Saved by the Bell, the college years and wedding in Las Vegas. She was even a bridesmaid at Kelly and Zach's wedding. While the show was a hit, there were some hidden struggles for the cast. Like many child actors, the Saved by the Bell cast didn't realize how big the show would become. They were young and didn't know much about contracts. This led to some pretty bad deals. Mark Paul Gosselaar, who played Zach Morris, admitted they didn't make as much money as people think. He said, "We didn't get paid nothing for it, because it was just a Saturday morning show back then." Here's the sad part. The cast doesn't make any money from reruns or merchandise. That's right, no royalties. Imagine watching your show air for decades and seeing merchandise everywhere, but not getting a penny from it. Gosselaar mentioned how it stings to think about all the money they missed out on because of those deals. For many of these young stars, Saved by the Bell wasn't just a job, it took away their childhood. While most kids were hanging out with friends or going to school dances, the cast was on set, working long hours. They missed out on normal teenage experiences.
When I wake up in the morning and the alarm gives out a warning, I don't think I'll ever make it on time.
Looking back, Lark Voorhies and her co-stars made sacrifices to be part of a legendary show. While it gave them fame, it also came with challenges. According to Dustin Diamond's book, things were way more dramatic than what you saw on TV. The cast wasn't just playing high school students, they were living out their own wild, messy teen lives off camera. Dustin wrote that Mario Lopez and Mark Paul Gosselaar, who played A.C. Slater and Zach Morris, allegedly hooked up with all three main girls on the show: Tiffany Thiessen, Kelly Kapowski, Elizabeth Berkley, Jessie Spano, and Lark Voorhies on Lisa Turtle. He even claimed there were wild situations, including some of the cast getting involved in love triangles and more. Dustin told People magazine in 2009, "All of us dated at one point or another. It was like high school. Everyone rotated around. It was crazy."
Fine.
No, but Lisa, that was different. We were...
Together.
But this wasn't just a fun dating game. It got intense. The girls sometimes ganged up on each other, especially Lark Voorhies. Lark was reportedly dating Mark Paul for about 3 years, and that caused drama. Some of the other girls didn't like her because of it. Imagine being one of the few black cast members, shy and young, and dealing with people not liking you just because you're dating someone. That must have been tough. It didn't help that the cast spent almost all their time together. They were kids missing out on normal high school moments like proms and graduations. Lark said she couldn't go to her own graduation because of the show's filming schedule. Instead of hanging out with school friends, the cast became each other's social group. Sometimes they loved each other, and sometimes they couldn't stand one another. The tension got so bad that producer Peter Engel had to step in and tell them to calm down. He'd remind them that they were there to film a TV show, not to fight. But it wasn't always easy. Between their demanding schedules and the pressures of fame, the cast often found themselves at odds. In his tell-all book, Dustin Diamond, who played Screech on Saved by the Bell, made a shocking claim. He said NBC paid a woman $50,000 to stay quiet about something bad involving Mario Lopez. Diamond wrote that Lopez lured a woman to his home and forced her into a situation she didn't want to be in. Many people think Diamond might be making things up, but a 1993 article from Variety supports his story. The article says the police investigated a young woman's claim that Lopez physically hurt her at his house. The case didn't go to court because there wasn't enough evidence. According to Diamond's book, NBC's lawyers stepped in, and the woman was paid to stay silent. This isn't new in Hollywood. Studios often hire fixers to clean up messy situations for their stars. These fixers make problems disappear, even when stars are in big trouble. Back in old Hollywood, they help stars avoid scandals, and it seems like the same thing happens today.
It's like everything that I've heard about his book is that it is negative, and I don't remember those things, because my experience on the show was very positive.
If what Diamond says is true, it makes you wonder, what else has been hidden over the years? If studios were willing to cover this up, there might be even more untold stories. On another note, the relationships among the Saved by the Bell cast were interesting too. Lark Voorhies and Mark Paul Gosselaar, who played Lisa and Zach, dated for 3 years while filming the show. Their off-screen romance was real, and fans loved them as a couple. However, their relationship caused some tension with other cast members who felt left out or jealous.
Well, you know, in life and in the entertainment industry, let me tell you, the show does go on.
Now, in an interview, Lark talked about the Saved by the Bell reboot that was coming to the Peacock streaming platform. While some of her former castmates, like Zach, AC Slater, and Jesse, were part of the revival, Lark wasn't invited. She said it hurt to be left out. She also believed her mental health condition may have played a role in that decision.
I have to admit, I did feel a bit slighted and hurt when I was not invited to be part of the Saved by the Bell reunion.
Aside from movies, Voorhies has appeared in several music videos. She plays Kenny Lattimore's love interest in his debut video, Never Too Busy, from his 1996 self-titled debut album. In Boys 2 men's music video, On Bended Knee, she plays Wanya's girlfriend. She is featured in Montel Jordan's Something for the Honeys, and in Drew Hill's These Are the Times. In 1994, Voorhies was in a group originally called the X-Girls, now known as Geneva, with Stacy and Yashi Brown, the daughters of singer and oldest Jackson family sibling, Rebby Jackson. Voorhies founded and was the lead singer in Third Degree, an alternative band. Despite everything, Lark is staying positive. She hopes to have her time back in the spotlight and continue her career.